Do you like Ikea? Is it a place that you would go to just have a look around and get knickknacks for the house? Or is it somewhere where you go specifically to buy their flat pack furniture? I think it's pretty cool. I quite like Ikea. Absolutely can't stand it if we buy anything from it. It means that I have to keep out my husband's way. I kind of have to be around because we don't follow instructions because we just don't follow instructions, but we need to have everything in the right space, and it's normally a bit of a shit fight where it gets done. Maybe not in the time it was supposed to get done, but it does get done. And it's all a bit stressful, to be honest. I think after 20 plus years, I've decided that we should just buy the frigging bit of furniture from the shop that costs a fair bit more, but we get it delivered and we get it put where we want it to, and it's perfect. It just comes ready to go and usable. The stress involved in having the flat pack and having it there, working out where all the bits go, then working out that we should have started at the other end first, and then having to stop halfway through and undo that bit and then get the other bits. And it's not just our family, it's heaps of families that, flat pack takes forever. It's supposed to be simple, it looks simple, it's got all the instructions, it's all picture led, but there's always a screw missing, there's always something missing, there's always something that doesn't quite fit and you've put it on back to front, or it doesn't quite go the way it's supposed to go and doesn't quite work the way it's supposed to work. And this is what happens with bodies. A lot of us can get the information from the internet. You can get what you need from the internet. You can follow what you need to follow from the internet. The thing is, when you get a pro in and you get, the handyman in to do your furniture for you, and that's what they do all day, it's there and it's done in 20 minutes flat. It doesn't take long at all because it blah 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 blah. Everything works, everything's perfect, and it's there. When you're kind of doing it yourself and inching your way through it, and you're not sure what's going on, and you've got to go back and check and take bits apart and do this, and it takes a heck of a lot longer. And the body's the same. When you go to somebody who knows what they're talking about, who knows what they're looking for, knows how the body responds, we get you from A to B, or A to B to C to D, wherever you're going, and we get you there in a timely fashion. And if there's a little bit of a hiccup along the way, we can reroute and do things. When you do it yourself, it doesn't mean you don't get where you want to be, but it does mean that it can be a little bit frustrating, and you do have to undo some steps to go and put some other steps back in place, very similar to the flat pack furniture. And when you come out at the end of it, you have a body that kind of functions, but there's a little bit of a funny bit that's not quite the way it should be, or it doesn't quite function the way that you want it to be, or it doesn't quite look the way you want it to do, but it does the job. So I kind of liken, people doing their own thing as you're just looking at Google and you're doing an Ikea flat pack, and it'll get you, it'll function, it'll do the job. It's just not going to get you there the way that it would do if you had a pro who knows what they're doing helping you, and you had somebody guiding you so you did the right steps at the right time in the right order. And that's basically what we do as physios. It's basically what we do as rehab professionals. We have the skills to know, now do this bit first, because otherwise you're going to have to undo it to go back to do it again. And that's what happens with flat pack. We kind of go the wrong route first, and we have to take a bit away to add that bit back on later, or take it down because we put it on back to front. It doesn't mean it gets you any, it doesn't mean that we're knocking your efforts. It doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It's just a personal choice, a personal preference. So if I'm looking at, a little bedside table, something that is quite easy, quite simple, yeah, I'll go and get it from Ikea because it's easy. If it's something that's a bit more complicated and it's got a lot more moving parts and it looks like it's going to take me a little bit longer time because it's a bit more complex, I think I'm going to spend that little bit more and get it done by somebody who knows what they're doing, because the stress involved with And I don't know how many bits of Ikea furniture we've thrown out because they've just been ruined, because it just, yeah, let's just say it didn't work. And I find that a lot with my clients. If you haven't seen me before, my name is Sarah Hewlett, and I'm a musculoskeletal physio, and I have been for probably 30 years now. So we have a lot of clients, or I have a lot of clients that come and see me, and what they're doing when they're coming to see me is they want help. They might not come and see me with their little ankle sprains, or they've tweaked something, but when it gets a little bit harder to manage and they want that little bit more guidance, then they'll come and see me. Or they'll have their physio that they go to down the road, who is quite happy and they're quite comfortable doing their simple rehab and bits and bobs with them. And then when it becomes a little bit more complex and they want someone who's got that experience and knowledge behind them, then they'll come and see me. So it is a case of, you kind of get what you pay for, you kind of get what you invest in it, and you kind of get the outcome depending on what you've invested in it. And that could be time, it could be money, it could be effort, it could be research, it could be whatever it is that you need it to be. And the simple easy stuff, you've sprained your finger, you've rolled an ankle, it's not too bad. There's a whole heap of things that are there and they're easy. When you're kind of looking at the more complex stuff, like you've got pain that won't go away, you've tried to get your core activated, or you've tried to get your glutes working and nothing's worked so far. So those kind of things where you think, look, I've tried a few things and it hasn't quite worked for me, I've tried to do a few things and it hasn't quite worked for me, they're the kind of things that I kind of say, look, they'd be like your flat pack, it hasn't quite worked, get somebody who knows what they're doing to help you with it. So I kind of think that, if you're in that position, or you just go, you know what, I can't be asked to do that, I would rather go, get the information I need, have my bit of furniture there ready to go and bring it home. And that's what I do. It's there ready for you, we do all the package for you, there you go, rather than you have a little information leaflet that you maybe follow and maybe have to backtrack on. So if that feels like something that you would like, that you'd like that guidance, that you'd like that information up front, that you'd like to know what you need to do step by step and have somebody guiding you to do it and helping you to do it, rather than you going to a Google and having to come back and forth and chip and change and realise you've done things that haven't quite been in the right order, then message me. I have a wealth of knowledge that can help you get pain free, that can help you get your body working the way that you want it to work, that can allow you to move, improve your posture, improve your strength, whatever it is, looking at how you move and your mechanics and everything and how that all integrates together. Because bodies aren't about just one part. It's not about my back sore or my neck sore or my shoulders sore. It's about how all that relates to everything. So it's not about how that screw fits in there. It's about how that screw fits in there, and does it fit in the right way that it allows the drawers to slide, or you have to sort of kind of jiggle and juggle and push them in and pull them out. It's about having the bits all integrated together so you have a body that functions the way you want it to, it moves smoothly, it sort of does what you want it to in the way that you want it to. And that's what I think is fabulous. The body is amazing. The body should move, the body should stretch, it should work, it should bend, it should be doing what you want it to do. And we all have our different ways of doing things. And if we can bring out the best in that, then we're all going to be a whole heap better off. And I would love to help you bring out the best in yours. So if you're interested in working with me, I have a lot of new different programs available. It can be stuff that you can just do yourself online with a little bit of knowledge, or it can be that you want to work with me one-to-one and actually have intense guidance and that more high level guidance that can help you get where you want to be. So message me. There is always something that we can do to help, but there is always something that can be implemented to help your body move a little bit more than it is at the moment. Take care.